Team.
What's up, guys, and welcome back to the Mountain Trail Challenge here on HeflaTV 1. Just completely screwed up those video overlays, but that's fine because I didn't have time to get it prepared anyway. I'm Mikelorus, going to be one of your casters for today, and today we have a special guest caster, Kefka. Welcome to HeflaTV. How are you doing today?
Thank you. Wait, I have some weird sound here. I'm not sure. Okay,
On my end, or
better.
You sound
No,
fine to
I'm
me.
hearing echoing. I guess it's from Dota TV or Dota in Dota. I'm not sure how this works. I'm gonna lower some things here.
Alright, well, just let me know when you're ready, and hopefully that's not going to be a problem.
Okay, it's fine now. This should be good.
Cool. So we got a best of one. It's always super awkward just to go online for a best of one, but it's going to be between Hehe and Vega. So Vega, probably the favorites, although they are working with, or both sides actually, working with a stand-in. And it is best of one, so you never know what's going to happen.
Yeah. Vega favorites for sure, but it's a new patch, so you never know.
Well, Vega, they're going to grab the DK pretty early, ban out the Leshrac even. I would think that if you're going to grab a DK, you would at least tempt the opponents into banning out the Leshrac, just to, try to take some forced bans out, because Leshrac and DK, that's a hell of a lot of pushing that I think most teams should be scared of.
10 seconds remaining.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that ban. Maybe they know something about Hehe. It doesn't feel like a... I guess he's pretty good against DK in lane, that's probably why, but I'm a bit surprised either way.
Well, I mean, it is, I guess, really good with Shadow Demon. If you pick that one up pretty early for Hehe, with both their supports, I presume, pretty early, like, Leshrac is going to be a pretty nice tertiary support for, Disruption, Split Earth, Fissure. That's a lot of stun, and Gyrocopter is pretty soft. Also, Gyrocopter recently nerfed, so does a little bit less damage, will need a little bit more help in lane if he's actually going to crush people.
Yeah, it's a bit nerfed, but I don't think it matters too much. It's still very high damage on that spell. It was just too broken at first, now it's probably still very good.
10 seconds
but I think this is... the Leshrac ban was probably just because DK probably doesn't lane very good against that hero even on 1 versus 1. And they also banned the Broodmother. Even though they have decent heroes, both DK and Gyro are pretty good against Brood. They can't find him, but they lane against him pretty well, like they can deal with him.
Yeah, and if they just have a support to find the Broodmother, then, well, it's pretty easy going for Vega. But I guess, like, Broodmother, Leshrac, both of these are pushing heroes. They seem to know, or seem to be scared of the fact that Hehe can still kind of transition into a heavy pushing draft, but I don't know, Shadow Demon Earthshaker opening, like, that's not exactly a Chen or an Enchantress or anything like that as a support. They can't really push that great, so maybe Vega just don't want to deal with those annoying heroes. Broodmother is a pain in the ass to deal with.
Yeah, and Hehe bans Beastmaster and Nightstalker, which are pretty aggressive heroes, at least when you after laning phase. Both can gank pretty good and push very well. Nightstalker can just push very well in nighttime, but not very good in daytime, of course.
Right,
but
Vega do love Nightstalker also. That's like their jam.
Yeah. I wonder if the stand-in of Hehe, I think that's Sexy Bamboo. I'm not sure though. And I think he plays a lot of Earthshaker offlane, if I'm not mistaken.
So if it is Bambo, then he does. But
yeah.
Yeah, they just said in the lobby that it's someone from Four Clovers. That's all I got.
Yeah, and Windrunner picked up. It's a bit surprising pick, I think. It's strong, but can he lane good against DK? I don't think it's gonna be support, so it's probably gonna be mid Windrunner, and he does okay against Dragon Knight, I guess. But if he leaves lane, he can't defend. Like, he's gonna get pushed down.
And as Wind Ranger, you probably do want to make occasional rotations, like Shackle and Power Shot between
with a good
1 and 20 minutes are super strong.
Yeah, with a good rune, you can do a lot of work with Windrunner. It's really, if you get a haste or invis, it's the Shackle into, like, just right clicks even, could kill pretty much anyone.
Well, as a mid lane hero, we'll see how she fares. Like, against DK, as you said, it's a pretty good matchup for the Wind Ranger, but it is potentially very delicate. Vega grab a Clockwork as their third pick. Just going to give that one to Mag. He plays it all the frickin' time, so he knows it like the back of his hand. It's a little bit of initiation for them, and I guess they have okay combos, but right now, Vega Squadron, they're pretty much firmly in that, like, mid-rangey type of strategy where they just, have a very balanced type of team. They have the carry, they have the mid lane hero for the DK, and they have that mid-game controller with the Clockwork.
Yeah, we'll see how they do with the supports now, if they want to play aggressive or defensive in the early laning stage. They can still pick up a jungler, I think. They banned Hehe banned Shen early though, and I think I know Vega really likes the Shen, but I haven't seen if they play Enchantress or something like Enigma. So we'll see if they want to play aggressive or maybe farm up a bit more.
Well, Enigma looking perhaps a little bit worse up against the Shadow Fiend. Your ability to push at the very least was stymied hard by the raises. It's gonna be a disruptor for Vega instead. Usually with disruptors, it's like in response to like an IO or a Queen of Pain or something like that. Do you think disruptor is a hero that you could just pick up pretty much any time and it'll be good?
Dire team ban.
Yeah, pretty much. He's a very good laner. Like he has one of the better harass heroes, and he's very good at chasing. And I think Vega really likes him because of mainly the glimpse. Like you can keep chasing, you can pick off heroes very easily, and I think it fits them very well.
Remaining.
Yeah, they have the disruptor now. They may be a little bit short on the hard CC. Like disruptor doesn't really have that. DK Dragon Tail so far. The only guaranteed way to get stuns off. I mean, Hookshot, Battery Assault, Cogs, these are all soft CC forms, and if they do get one stun, then the tri-lane of Disruptor, Gyrocopter, +1, if they do decide to go for that, do you think that's powerful enough to go for an offensive tri-lane?
Possibly. Right now it doesn't look like Hehe will have a strong defensive lane. Either Winnon or Shadow Fiend is gonna be... either Winnon is going to be support or probably safe lane, and he's not that strong. Winnon can't really kill very easily, but so you can go aggressive, and you're pretty comfortable because you probably won't die at least, unless you really overextend. And Shadow Demon is also very defensive support, so you can go aggressive and just try and outfarm them instead of like trying to kill them.
Alright, so we might have a farm race on our hands then, if that is the case, of course. Shadow Fiend, Wind Ranger late game versus DK Gyrocopter, I would say comparable on both sides. Centaur War Runner, though, for that late game, or I mean that off laner, let's say, for Hehe. Yeah. I'm assuming right now, but also a pretty decent late gamer, I would say. Overall has some higher impacts than a Clockwork late game, but yeah, this game can definitely go the distance, depending on, well, Vega's last pick and how aggressive Vega are going to be playing these lanes.
Yeah. Centaur... a bit surprising, I think. He's very strong with the new Aghanims, but he hasn't been played that much recently because he's like a very weak offlaner in a sense. He needs farm, and he has a hard time laning against a lot of heroes. So that's why he hasn't been seen that much recently. But maybe they will do some dual laning even, if they want to run center off, or they could just run the Earthshaker offlane as well and have Winner support, but I wouldn't recommend that. It feels like center offlane and Winner core would be a lot better.
So for dual lanes, it'll be like Centaur Shadow Demon and Wind Ranger Shaker.
They could do Centaur Earthshaker offlane as well, and just have Earthshaker stand there so Centaur can actually get some farm and not die. So you just secure him, and then Earthshaker can also like rotate between mid and top, and he can, and he can like secure both kinda so they don't die and they get something.
Alright, so we'll see what Hehe can do. I mean, if you look at any of these heroes, like we mentioned already, Wind Ranger, support, safe lane, and mid lane, so like she can go anywhere, Shaker, especially if that is Bambo, which I'm getting more and more convinced that it is, but not 100% sure just yet. Then, you know, offlane Shaker, definitely a possibility. Hehe have pretty much, you know, a whole bunch of variables in their lanes, and for Vega, I think it's a little bit more streamlined. If they do anything else but DK mid, Clockwork, solo, and Gyro Disruptor +1 safe, then, or as a tri-lane, then I'll be a little bit surprised.
Yeah, they pretty much set lanes. They can choose now to go defensive or offensive, and Trent can do both. I think he's pretty strong in both safe lane, and he can like help out in other lanes, but also very strong in aggressive, because they can't really kill the Treant on the side of Hehe.
You can't really get into a man fight with that Treant either. He will beat you down every single time, but yeah, it's maybe, I mean, these supports for Vega, they seem perhaps a little bit too defensive for my taste. Like, Disruptor doesn't do a ton of damage, and they are placing a lot of priority on this Gyrocopter if they're going to be getting any kills.
Yeah, 1 second, I have to put on the microphone in game.
Alright, well, you fixed that stuff, so yeah, we could just have everything go smoothly from here on out. On the Hehe side, guys, it's going to be Hawa on the Wind Ranger. Hook is going to be, well, with a stand-in tag, but he's been playing for Hehe for quite a long time, so he's on the Shadow Fiend. Cube is on the Earthshaker. We got Nias on the Shadow Demon, and Lord of the 4Ks. We'll have to check just in a little bit to see who that is, but he's going to be on the Centaur, and we have a very early smoke rotation from Hehe.
Yeah, I didn't want to catch some people off here, but Trent went into their jungle instead all the way, so unless Clockwork goes in here, they're not gonna find anyone. Oh, Clockwork seems to go falling for it.
Don't go in there. The smoke is gonna blow. He's right next to everyone. Melee range, hoof stomp after a fissure, and he's gonna get beaten down. Someone's gonna draw first blood here. It'll be the Centaur. They'll give it to him. I mean, Cube definitely didn't want to take it. I think Hook kind of wanted to grab it, but he got hit with the cogs. So either way, it's first blood, Vega. There, Mag, Clockwork walks into the wrong part of the map, and while Solo's on the Treant Protector, he's just chilling, and Seaman Slayer's on the Disruptor, no one's on the DK, Uba is on the Gyrocopter. The classic, good game, have fun after the first blood.
Yeah. And it looks like Centaur would be a core down here, and Windrunner is gonna be the offlaner, which is very surprising. I guess it's because they think it's gonna be aggressive, or some weird lanes from Vega, but with the first blood on Centaur, I think could have done really well offlane, while Windrunner is gonna have a very hard time, I think, against the Disruptor and Gyro up here.
Yeah, that's a lane where Windrunner, I mean, as a hero, she pretty much lives and dies by the fact that she gets Windrun out and she escapes most scenarios. But even if you Windrun, Rocket Barrage does not care, Glimpse does not care. So yeah, this Wind Ranger lane is going to be pretty rough, but this Centaur, the fact that he got that first blood, he already has a little bit of extra armor now with the Ring of Protection, will be on his way towards his next item, and he's also getting a little bit of help for this from the Shadow Demon. Disruption into Hoof Stomp into just Beatdown. It may not always be enough to kill off the Clockwork, but it will make Clockwork very scared in this lane.
Yeah, Shadow Demon is a great hero against Clockwork, because if he cogs, you disrupt, he can get trapped in his own cogs and can't get out in a good way at all.
So we'll see if the Clockwork is able to get any farming. He already just gave first blood, so obviously not the end of the game for Mag, but yeah, outside of that threat of Shadow Demon, however, like the Centaur versus Clockwork lane, the Centaur is, you know, gonna have a decent time, but he's not gonna be powerful enough to force the Clockwork out or anything, so Mag should be getting experience, and as a Clockwork, I would say most of the time that's good enough.
Yeah, he seems to be maybe the dispatch offlane. In the mid lane, we're gonna actually see action on no one here.
Oh, one raise being held by Hook. The close range raise was held, and now no one. He will have to run in as straight a line as he can. Hook can't really get the turn correct, and now no one. He's tempting Cube to come in more, but there's another fissure and another raise available. No one, too cute. Couldn't he have just ran and would have been fine?
Yeah, I think so. It was a bit misplay. I think he was a bit too scared. Oh, it was close getting the disruption off.
There's a sentry actually. They could have still gotten it. I think it was there from the beginning.
It was because Earthshaker had no mana, otherwise they would have gone.
Ah.
And Hook didn't only have mana for 2 races, so it was a bit. Even I don't even think he had mana for 2 races at the point where he wanted to disrupt. So it was a good call from Shadow Demon not to use it. Would have been a waste of mana.
Well, Mag is still hanging around this mid lane with that invis. Hook knows that this Clockwork is probably here, so if he walks up, I guess, you know, past the stairs, he's probably just going to die. Mag is, I guess, keeping Hook off this lane. They also have Solo, who's posed to grab a courier snipe, but I don't know if that's going to be happening. 3 minutes is coming, and the courier should be in the air soon.
Yeah.
Oh, and Mag, he runs out of invis. Cube is there with a fissure. That's not going to block him. He has a path through the trees. And, well, Clockwork has been off the lane this entire time. This Centaur is having such an easy time in this lane. 19-2, leading the last hit chart. You very rarely see Centaurs do this well, ever.
Yeah, and Windrunner got a lot of extra experience thanks to the Treant not being in lane either. They could have probably dived this Windrunner if he came up there, because Earthshaker TP'd mid, so he couldn't help the Windrunner up there. So Windrunner got a bit extra thanks to that. But she's still gonna have a very hard time in this lane.
Well, outside of that, it's the mid lane scenario that's actually the most surprising to me. Hook is getting pretty firmly outlasted by no one.
Very hard on top lane.
Oh yeah, they're gonna go for the Wind Ranger. She already used her Wind Run though, and they're gonna go for mid as well. No one gonna Dragon Tail Cube in tower range. Armor is there, plus he has another Breathe Fire coming up. This should be a kill for the DK. Unless this salve is enough, it will be enough to save Cube for now. That's some value right there, and no one will get saved.
Oh, the rocket coming in.
What?
Almost sniped Earthshaker there.
Okay.
Lag.
That was potentially really bad. Vega have too many freaking rockets, man. The technology on their side is too much for Hehe. Well, anyway, Centaur, he's closing on his level 6. Is that really going to change? I mean, it always does change things, but can he actually abuse the offensive power of a Stampede in this early stage? Like, I don't see them getting kills on Mag. They're going to need a lot more than just the Wind Ranger to get kills on Ubop towards top.
Yeah, it's gonna be very hard. They don't have very aggressive supports. It's very hard to use their ultimate to get a kill. Mag is pretty on the level though, so it's very possible they could kill him, but with the Treant arm it's gonna be extra hard as well.
And Solo's been, I mean, he's wandered over to the mid lane once, but other than that, just doing Treant things in the jungle, pulling and such for this Gyrocopter. And we do see the Gyrocopter and Wind Ranger already getting into a fight, probably because the Wind Ranger just clicked in and then disconnected. This is never where you want to be as any hero, right under a Gyrocopter.
He's gonna take a lot of damage. He's probably gonna go down to below half here. I guess he can win on ult, so he doesn't tank a second Rocket Barrage. But it's not. This is not optimal for him. At least the lane is pushing, so he's gonna get experience either way.
Right, but will he be comfortable enough actually sticking in this lane? Disruptor, I guess, well, the Wind Ranger doesn't know about it, but Seaman Slayer is pretty far away. That could be really bad for the Wind Ranger if Disruptor was, you know, still poking and prodding in that top lane. But I think with this scenario, Wind Ranger, yeah, is going to get roughed up, but may even be too scared to sit in her tier 1 tower.
Yeah. It's a bit... This Winona is not a very common offlaner for the reason he can't do anything else but like offlane. He can't go jungle or anything like that, so it's very hard for this hero to be played in this position right now.
Well, she didn't actually take that much damage. It was only 100 damage.
Yeah.
I guess
it might have been
Rocket Barrage nerfs
respect.
And yeah.
Might have been, he backed off pretty early. He might have been like, okay, that was not intentional from the Winona, so I'm just gonna back off so he doesn't take the damage that he shouldn't have taken if he didn't DC.
What a good guy. What good manners. But still, the Wind Ranger, she's hanging up on this top lane. Seema the Slayer, really the only one who can do that much versus the Wind Ranger. Solo can run at her, but that's about all the Treant can do. So outside of that, like outside of the threat of the Gyrocopter Disruptor combo and I guess occasional Leech Seeds, but we can see that doesn't do anything. This Wind Ranger should be getting still at least a little bit of experience, and that's more or less the same story for Mag on the bottom lane. So off lanes, you know, even though this is a really bad lane for the Wind Ranger, it is kind of being mirrored.
Yeah, she's doing really well so far. She's gotten a lot more than maybe I expected in the beginning, but now she's gonna have a hard time here.
Alright, well, no one is still tanking in the mid lane. He has his level 6 now. Stampede is there. They're going to try to get the Wind Ranger out, but looks like Glimpse Rocket Barrage was actually used. Yeah. My bad, guys. Solo is going to get roughed up, but he will be fine. Stampede, offensively, as you said, probably not going to happen, but over towards mid, Mag, the level 4 ganking Clockwork, that's not going to happen.
Radiant's top tower.
Yeah, he hoped that DK would be able to ultimate and stun so he could get in range, but it was pretty greedy and it didn't work out. But he's wasting a lot of time here on this Mag. Even the winner, who I thought was going to have a much harder time than the Clockwork is doing equal right now.
Oh, and Mag just wanted the rune as well, but Cube's going to throw a fissure and prevent that from happening. Or I guess no one really wanted that rune more. Invis on the Shaker. I don't think Vega actually saw what rune it was. I think they were probably too far away.
Yeah, I'm not sure if they managed to see it. It was just nighttime, so probably not. It would have been a really good rune for either DK or the Clockwork to have. Having an Invis, you don't even have to do anything with it. You can threaten everyone on the lane so they have to fall back. Shadowfiend could not have stayed in mid if they picked up that Invis rune. So it was pretty important for Hehe.
Well, I think maybe they can assume that it was either haste or invis since they didn't see the Shaker immediately afterwards, but they're going to try to go for Hook at the same time. Cube looking for a fissure. No one getting into a man fight that he's not going to win because here's an extra stun. Hook is going to get Dragon Tail so he can't get the raises off. Now the Living Armor is going to come up. Cube sitting in tower once again will be forced back. No one is playing really fast and loose with his health pool. Glimpse back onto Hook. Into the kinetic field they go. Mag has arrived, but there are so many creeps here. No one has another Breathe Fire in 7 seconds. Hook taking a lot of right-click damage, and he will go down. Now onto the Shadow Demon. They'll try to go. Leech Seed is going to slow him down a little bit. Mag closing in with the Battery Assault still active. They'll beat down the Shadow Demon, grab a double for Seema, and he's not going to die to the tower on his way out. TP coming in. It's the Wind Ranger, but she has no mana, and that probably should have been a cancelled TP because of it.
Yeah, well played from no one there. Fast reactions. He's like, okay, if I stun Shadowfiend here, we can counter kill here. And they got the double kill thanks to that. It was really well played. But Hehe is still winning in farm quite a lot. At least the cores are doing a lot better than the cores on Vega's side.
Especially the Centaur, who has his Blink Dagger. You would expect him to be the one to rotate in and not the Wind Ranger, who needs to get that amount of gold on her before she actually makes that rotation. This is a large threat that Vega do know about. Lord of the 4Ks made no effort at all to hide this Blink Dagger, so Vegas will ideally be playing around this, but it is hard to play around a Centaur with Blink. DK can manage it if he sees the Centaur coming, you get a fast Dragon Tail off, but that's about it.
Yeah, they're pretty squishy on Vega, except the DK. Clockwork is somewhat tanky, but he needs some items before he can really tank the Centaur here. He needs something like a Blade Mail, or Preds at least, before he can actually not die to the combo.
And when you're talking about Clockwork needing treads to survive, then you know your Clockwork's in a bad position. The Centaur, just with the threat of this Blink Dagger, is keeping the Clockwork more and more off the lane. But Clock will finally get a little bit of time to grab his level 6, but while this is happening, I'm pretty sure Vega, they do know about the rotation out from the Centaur, since Centaur wouldn't randomly leave the lane otherwise. He's going to find a haste rune, so Stampede always on now, at least for him. And they're looking once again for no one. So far, it hasn't really worked out fantastically going for this DK, and he'll blow the smoke. Cube will think about throwing a fissure. No, well, they still have Centaur smoked up. They're going to instead decide to go for Mag, maybe. No one. Fissure, is that a complete wall? I think you could slip through there. No, it's a complete wall. Now Hoof Stomp in from the Centaur. Stampede is there, getting hooked a little bit closer for one raise. The armor is going to go up. No one is going to get raised again, though. And, well, Power Shot if that was even necessary. But Hehe, they kill off the DK finally. It does rotate all of their heroes down to the bottom half of the map, however.
Yeah, was worth it though, but if they can take the tower, it would be really good for them. Winona needed to get to bottom lane either way, so she can get farms. There wasn't a big rotation for her, and it was really well played from Hehe. To get that kill was a big kill. I think it's the most important kill they could have gotten right now.
And DK, like, him being down, not only it's going to give Hehe a whole bunch of gold and experience and whatnot, but this DK also hasn't really done any pushing at all. Like, obviously with DK being the only quote-unquote pusher on the Vega side, you wouldn't expect all these towers to be dropping, but mid lane tower is pretty much untouched.
Yeah. Considering that Winner is 400 gold behind the DK, he has not had a good game, because this Winner should have had a much harder game in comparison to the DK. But it's pretty close in net worth between those two, which is very good for Hehe, because they are the underdogs here. They want to take control of this game early, I think.
And you would, I mean, we saw at the early game the DK had a CS lead on Shadow Fiend. For Shadow Fiend, he always gets his farm, so that's pretty much a given. But it was also the Earthshaker sitting on the DK pretty hard in the mid lane. It's only 1-0-2 on the Shaker. It doesn't sound like the most impressive score, but the amount of pressure he's put onto no one, and just the amount of nuisance that he has been in this mid lane is, you know, value in and of itself. He's only level 3, however. Cube is very far away from a Blink Dagger, first of all, but he's also pretty far away from getting to his level 6 and every subsequent level thereafter.
Yeah, the course of Hehe has done very well, but the supports have paid the price, with the Shadow Demon only having at Iron Branch right now. Not even boots yet, and it's almost 11 minutes in, which is not the ideal situation.
Dire's bottom tower
well, maybe the Shadow Demon and Centaur can just team up. Like, you would ideally want, before Blink Dagger, to be disrupting. Oh, there's a hook shot that missed in mid lane. That was nowhere close. Disrupting into a Hoof Stomp, but Centaur has probably enough assassination power to kill off the great majority of Vega's side. If you have the Shadow Demon Earthshaker just sit with that hero, then that's a lot of extra experience. Bottom lane being pushed by this Wind Ranger. She will take down the tower through the fortification, through the armor, but now glimpse back. Kinetic Field will not connect. They're going to close in anyway with the Rocket Barrage damage. More than enough to kill out the Wind Ranger, but tower down, probably worth it.
Yeah, it was worth it. A 4-man rotation, and he still got the tower. It means the rest of Hehe can take this mid tower down as well. So it was if they get it down, it was really worth it for Winrunner here. And I don't think they can stop that on Vega.
Yeah, Vega, they all go to the bottom lane. Suddenly the push happens in the mid lane, and that is going to do a lot of damage as well. Living Armor will block most of it, but still Vega, it just seems like they're being outmaneuvered by Hehe's side right now, and it's not even like the Radiant are working with like a Storm or a Queen of Pain or any of these insane mobility heroes. They're just having better heroes in better places.
Yeah, I think Hehe gave a lot of respect to Vega. They're backing up. I don't think they had to. I think they could have gotten that tower down. But I'm not sure. They might be a bit scared because there's still a double damage on the Clockwork, and they have a good team fight on Vega. Maybe even better than Hehe right now.
Well, they do have a mech picked up on the Shadow Fiend, so the team fight for the Radiant got a little bit stronger if he's not going to get completely silenced and bursted down. Disruptor, Static Storm, I mean, it's possible, I guess, that they just lock down and kill the Shadow Fiend and with enough time. Cube up towards top, very close to Solo. I don't know if Solo knew about that, but either way.
Solo fake cast his ultimate. I think Cube was really scared there. I don't know how Solo knew either. He just fake cast his ultimate and Cupid TP'd out immediately. That was pretty funny to watch.
I guess tactical advantage. Just always spam cast your overgrowth. Eventually you'll scare someone. Mag though going to cut off Hook. Fissure is there again from Cube. That'll slow down Mag. He couldn't even get the cogs off. Cogs have a little bit of cast time, and well, Earthshaker saw that one coming from a mile away. That might not have even been a kill, however. Like, it's just clockwork. He's level 7 versus a Shadow Fiend with a mech. I don't know if that's really what you want to be doing.
It was Mag's second missed hook shot. This is not how you want to start a clockwork game. If you miss the first hook shot, you're gonna have a really hard game. It's very hard to come back if you don't get the early farm clockwork, because he can't farm really well, especially with his level 1 rocket build. You can't even send rockets to lane and get hosses like that. It's gonna be very hard for him this game, I think. Especially if a 4-staffs come out on Hehe, and I think Winner is gonna go for one. Not sure though. He should, I think, to just 4-staff out of the cogs, and this clockwork is not gonna do much until he gets very farmed, I think.
If Windranger doesn't go for one, then Centaur can definitely go for one. He's at 1500 gold right now, and yeah, I think 4-staff after Blink, still at least a viable build. I don't know if Aghanim Scepter is worth rushing right after this Blink Dagger, but it is a possibility for him, and then super mobility on the Centaur. Really hard for Mag to actually do anything, and this is kind of uncharacteristic of Mag as a player, especially on his clockwork, which I feel like he plays the most out of anyone. He doesn't really miss these hook shots, except for this game where he's just not connecting with a single one so far in this game. And now mid lane, Hook with the DD rune is going to be the engine off of which Hehe are going to be pushing this. There's a flare, but again, as you said, only level 1 flare. Living armor is going to force them back for right now. Vega are getting a trade in the meantime, however, so this is not too terrible.
It's pretty good for Vega, a good decision. Like, they know how slow Hehe pushes against this living armor, so they know they can get a tower down before they lose the mid tower, which is good for them since they're behind, but it's still better for Hehe to take down the mid tower. It's very hard for Vega to rotate now because they already lost 2 important towers, and it's gonna be hard if they don't try and defend these towers now.
Well, Hook has a little bit more DD. He'll put it into the tier 2, but he can maybe even go for a little bit more, force a fight with the Stampede, the mechanism advantage that they have right now. Uba in the Gyrocopter really doesn't want to be fighting ideally. He would like to get this maybe Sanjin Yasha, maybe Yasha into BKB build up, but he needs an actual item. Call down Rocket Barrage is good, but with Rocket Barrage, if you get close to the Shadow Fiend and Centaur, you're probably going to be regretting your actions. Vega are going to smoke up, in fact, and wait on the high ground. Shadow Demon, don't go to the right. That is a bad place to go. Maybe Vega gets someone here, but they can only really get the Shadow Demon, I think.
Yeah, now Shadow Demon goes up on high ground just after they ran away, so unfortunate for Vega, they not managed to pick up the kill yet at least, maybe now.
Oh, the hook shot is going to land, and now the Shadow Demon, he's going to save himself a little bit of time with this bubble, but he has no one coming in. He is going to die to someone. It's going to be the Clockwork. So they get their kill. They try to go for the Centaur in the bottom lane. They miss the Breathe Fire, therefore he blinks out. This tier 2 tower is going to take a lot of damage, and it's a pretty good trade this time for Vega. They kill a tier 2 in exchange for a tier 1.
Yeah. I wonder if it looks like Hehe's gonna defend this tower. This might be a big team fight.
Oh, Centaur gonna jump in, Hoof Stomp onto 2. Yuba's taking a lot of damage. Static Storm though catches 3, and the call down as well as Breathe Fire. Gonna kill off the Shaker and Centaur immediately. Now the tail on Hawa is gonna lock him down. He's gonna try to wind run away, but he can't make it out. Oh my god, you would think that with that Centaur and Earthshaker initiation that would be good enough, but man, what a Static Storm from Sima.
Yeah, the Static Storm really determined that fight. A good glimpse as well. Shadow Fiend got removed of the fight. He could only pop mech, then he was gone. It looked like pretty good initiation from Centaur. They got a 2-man stomp, but it wasn't even close to being enough because they clumped a bit too much and the Disruptor's ultimate just tear them down.
Getting the stomp is just like part 1 of the initiation. You could get the 5-man stomp, but if there's no damage follow-up, then that stomp is irrelevant, and the glimpse back in the Shadow Fiend is going to prevent any of that damage follow-up from actually occurring. So big fight now for Vega. They're going to try to go into the Roshan right now, but they don't really have that much damage, all things considered. majority of their damage comes out from their skills. So Roshan is going to stay alive for right now, especially since Hook is, well, pushing out the middle lane as well. So Vega don't get completely everything, but I think the tower was also destroyed by the Vega side, if I'm not mistaken. I don't think anyone denied that. So big team fight win, tower destroyed. Suddenly they're not looking that out of where they really want to be, with the net worth advantage was slightly in Hehe's favor. Took a nosedive down to Vega's.
Yeah, it was a big team fight. The center actually went for the 4-step, and the winner looks like she's gonna go for Maelstrom, which I disagree with. I think you should get a mobility item on winner, especially if you're a third position hero. If you were mid or safe lane, you could go for like the Slash's Way or something like that. But when you're a utility winner, I think you should go for some mobility and try and get the shackles more than the damage.
I don't think we've seen any. I mean, we've seen like one shackle thrown on the top lane. It did land, but aside from that, Wind Ranger has been pretty hands-off, and well, we saw her just get crushed before. They're going to glimpse back Shadow Demon in the jungle. Fissure is there, which will wall, but it won't save. And Shadow Demon is going to drop to no one, who is closing in onto his BKB pretty rapidly. I mean, he have so much stunning like on their side, but it just seems like this Wind Ranger has done absolutely nothing in this game, and Maelstrom isn't really going to help. You can't afford to stand your ground as Wind Ranger in this game and actually fight it out.
It looks like Vegas started out playing Hehe a bit, yeah, at least in terms of rotations in early mid game, and decision making as well. But it looks like they're gonna lose top tower, or they should be able to defend it, but they might want to get Roche instead and leave that top tower, which looks like their decision will be.
Well, and the top lane push will stop because Hehe know that Vega are going for Roshan, and they don't want the tower. They want to contest this Roche. Lightning Hammer just picked up on the Wind Ranger, but they're going to stop midway and smoke up. Slick plays from Vega. Let's see if it'll pay off for them. They see Hook in the front lines. Hookshot misses the Hook. Caught out by himself. Big fissure onto everyone. With the Hookstop onto everyone as well. With the Requiem being armed up. That's going to crush through too. And the Echo Slam. It's a BKB up from no one, so he's going to survive for a little bit more. Mag as well, naturally tanky, will survive, but man, what a combo from Hehe. Uva is going to TP out, though. No one's still around with an Invis rune. He's going to survive as well, but him and the Gyro are the only survivors. The value is insane. It literally does not get better than that.
That BKB on Hook was so important. If he hadn't had that BKB, that would have been such a one-sided fight. But thanks to the big fissure, I think it was 4 or 5 man fissure, and then Hook just bought BKB and ultimated, and they were all gone, except the DK. And thankfully for Vega, the Gyro got out. If he had died, I think that could have been... it was bad, but if Gyro had died, it would have been really horrible.
Man, that was... I mean, it was a risky move. Oh, wait, Centaur's dying to creeps. Never mind. It was a risky move from Vega. It was kind of slick by trying just to give Hehe the old bait and switch. But when you take a fight in those narrow corridors, you're asking for trouble. Like, Hehe have a lot of AoE in this game, and Vega have a good amount as well, but with no BKB popped by the Gyrocopter, it doesn't really matter if he has call down and flat cannon. So Vega voluntarily put themselves into a very, very narrow corridor, and when you do that, most of the time you're going to get punished.
Yeah, the hookshot missed on Mag as well. If he had gotten the hookshot off, landed on the Earthshaker, that wouldn't have been a counter initiation, and they would have lost Shadow Fiend for sure. So Mag has now missed 3 of his hookshot, and he is not having a good game. He might even be on tilt at this point.
Yeah, that's a rough situation to be in. Shaker would have been, as you said, just completely locked down because Battery Assault is a pain for Shaker. No fissure. Maybe Centaur still gets that hoof stomp, but it's definitely not going to be as impressive as a combo. I think Centaur, maybe like Stampede, 4-staff over the cog, or Blink over the cogs, 4-staff in. It would have been possible, but with that fight, Hehe are going to reclaim a little bit more of their advantage. Still, this game is pretty darn close, but Vega clear out a triple stack of Ancients. That's going to be pretty sweet for them, and well, they might also lose Solo up on top. Living Armor gets cut through immediately by the Lightning Hammer. He pops the ultimate, but he's not moving anywhere very quickly. They're going to take him out.
Yeah, good gank there. But Gyro got a lot of farm thanks to the Ancient stack, which is he is gonna need this game. Because the Shadow Fiend is gonna get big no matter what at this point, and it just Vega needs to get bigger pretty much. I wonder what. Yeah, Center is going for the Agadims, which I think is a good decision. I really want to see that in action. I've seen it like 1 or 2 times, but I want to see how strong it is. I don't think people are used to the running over cliffs either yet. I've seen like it being used and people don't even think about it. They run normal ways, even though they can run over cliffs.
It's kind of like the little asterisk in the patch note. It's like, oh, you take, what, 60% reduced damage now, I think?
I think it was 70, unless they changed.
Yeah, they nerfed it to 60 recently, so you take 60%. Oh, big X Slam on the bottom lane. No one's gonna get stomped as well. He also was cursed up by the Soul Catcher. Stampede trying to look for Mag, but Cogs TP out. There's no stomp there. They'll try to force staff him into the Cogs. That would have been pretty smooth, but he doesn't have a mana to cast anything anyway. Big pick off on the DK, and they might also get the Gyrocopter up here. Shackle gonna whiff, however, and he has a BKB and living armor. Uba's gonna jet out of there on his little helicopter, but still, it's a kill on the DK. Yeah, well, they're actually going to turn it around. Hook's going to wind up the Requiem, which will do not much damage, but he does get the reduced damage on anyone. Now, call down onto this Wind Ranger. Going to destroy your health pool. Second missile not going to land solo. Right in the middle of things, we'll get a nice overgrowth. They will take out this Wind Ranger. Now try to isolate Hook. He does have an Aegis, however, and he's going to fight to the bitter end. Mag going to close him with a Rocket Barrage. Huge damage tool. That's going to be 1 life down, and he has no support incoming. They probably can kill him off twice right now, especially with the Static Storm. Hook is going to die. That is not how you want to use your Aegis.
Oh, that was very greedy play from Hehe. As soon as the Shackle missed, they should have gone back. It's way too risky to go there without vision. And like the follow-up came in time. It wasn't even fast. Shadow Fiend stopped and tried to get the counter kill. It was just even more greedy. And they lost so much because of that. All the momentum they gained from the last fight and the Roche kind of thrown away there.
And Hehe don't really have any backup in the area. Now they do have a Shaker and Shadow Demon kind of in position, but it's a tier 1 tower with no Echo Slam. I don't think this is defendable. They're going to walk into many heroes. Mag is going to see He's right now, gets put into a bubble. Glimpse back is going to save Uba from a lot of stress as he goes for that tower. They're going to jump in for Mag. Big fissure onto 2. Seema also walled off. Cube does not have his Echo Slam anymore, but they're all jammed up. Now with the big hoof stomp in from Lord of the 4K. Centaur's also going to force staff himself out. Wind Ranger from the back. Everyone in Vegas so low. They took down the tower, but at what cost? Uba trying to take down the Shadow Demon, but he will die to the Wind Ranger. So much damage coming out from that Lightning Hammer. It's a double kill for the Shadow Demon. No one's going to rotate in, however. Centaur's still weak. Soul's gonna reveal himself to Cube. Living armor? No, that was Nature's Guise that failed because he was too far away. That's gonna be a big team fight for Hehe. They're getting so many heroes hit with these stuns, and now no one's actually caught out. He was left alone. He's gonna pop the BKB, turn around, try to kill off the Shaker. He will get mech'd up the Shaker, and Breathe Fire won't do it any longer. Now he has to run no one, but he has no backup incoming. It's gonna be a slow chase, but I think Hehe just got a full team wipe.
Yeah, really well played from Hehe here. That was so well played from the center. He's waiting, and then as soon as they clump up 3 heroes, he comes in and hits the double edge on all 3 as well, which was really big, because otherwise I think they wouldn't have gotten all 3 of them. And the power shot also well timed, really well played from Hehe. I'm really impressed by them right now.
It's a combination of the Radiant playing really well and the Dire clumping up a lot. Like that fissure, bottlenecked so many heroes in with so many creeps. I don't know if they were completely walled off. It seemed like they were because they weren't moving anywhere. But, I mean, this time we've seen Vega now clump up really hard twice and get really, really punished. They have their BKBs, so in theory they shouldn't be getting punished as hard for clumping up, but BKBs are only relevant when you actually use it, and the timing's just not right for Vega. So positioning from both sides, honestly, a little bit sketchy in this game.
Yeah, I think Vega didn't expect Earthshaker to do that much damage. He didn't have his ultimate, so they were like, he can't really kill any one of us. Then comes in with the Fissure and the high level in Aftershock especially, and the Mag just died before he could do that much. And they panicked and tried to save Mag here, and then they clumped up because of it. So maybe they should play a bit. Maybe they are on a bit of tilt now because they expected Hehe to be a bit worse, and now they're kind of not doing good, so they might be in a bit of a panic mode, but they feels like they should be experienced enough to play a bit more calm. Maybe they will try and calm this game down a bit and maybe farm up a bit more.
And right now it's a really bad time to be on tilt because Shaker just grabbed the Blink Dagger Force Staff. The Centaur has his Aghanims completed. Wind Ranger almost has hers completed, and Shadow Fiend rather has his Blink BKB mechanism, try items all up. So the initiation power of the Radiant side right now is insane, and, well, I'm pretty sure I know what they want to do right now. Earthshaker wants to go mid.
Yeah, I think they should get her up and get some towers down. Not sure if Vega has any big items incoming. Oh, that was a misclick from Hook. That's gonna cost them this push, I think.
Well, they don't have a BKB on Shadow Fiends. They can still try to risk it because the Centaur Aghanims is still hidden. If they get a pick off or something like that, then they could still go for it, but it doesn't seem like that's really going to be easy. No one is going to walk into an Observer Ward. He is spotted by the poison as well. It looks like he think that they're still powerful enough just to brute force this tower. Vega, they have some heroes up on top that need to teleport to the mid lane. Living Armor, Fortify. It's going to buy the tower a little bit of space, but Vega are not in any position to actually defend this. They're not going to.
Yeah, it looks like they just want trade. I'm not sure if they saw the... I think Shadow Fiend was out of vision when he popped BKB, so they don't know that he has it on cooldown. So they're just trying to delay this game. Like, slow it down a bit, try and get up farm instead of fighting.
On top though, Cube gonna get caught in Stack Storm as he does try to close in onto Seema. There's a Purge. Cube taking a lot of damage right now, but he does have his Echo Slam, and he'll launch it onto Seema and destroy the Disruptor. It's going to be the Shouty Man to claim the kill. Solo will not be able to finish the Shaker right now as Cube reinitiates Shackle onto Solo as well. Do they have any True Sight? They have AoE. They don't have True Sight, but they will get the kill anyway. So many AoE skills being thrown out. Shaker has been balling out of his mind right now in this game, man.
Yeah,
he's been out of control.
He's been playing out of his mind. He's been playing really well. And they are going... Vega... I thought they were going to slow the game down, but that kill, trying to kill Earthshaker here was really greedy. He's pretty farm. He's tanky, and if you don't kill him before the Static Storm ends, he's gonna echo slam you and kill you, which was what happened. So it was a mistake. Didn't cost that much though. Losing 2 supports for a 5-man rotation, it's not the worst thing in the world to happen.
But like making plays like that, it definitely, you could get this feeling that Vega, they know that they're behind and they're trying to make these short, cute plays in order to get a little bit more into this game, but we were there that time. They have still a tier 2 tower to take. The Dire's tier 2 can pretty easily be destroyed by an upcoming push from Hehe, and they're rotating a good majority of their team there, but Seema's gonna get caught by a Shackle. There's no mana to focus fire, and that's a little bit unfortunate for this Wind Ranger. She has to back off, but if she did have enough mana, probably a kill.
Yeah, she would have gotten the kill, I think, but I think she would have died for it either way. She was pretty lucky there because she ran out since it was nighttime. Seema couldn't glimpse her back. If it was daytime, she would have died there, I think, on Windrunner. But just showing who's boss and then running out. I like this style from Hehe.
And the rest of the team in the meantime, they're on the bottom lane. Tier 2 tower taking a beating. Vega, it looks like, again, they're not in any position to defend this. And I don't really think they should. You might as well wait until you're defending tier 3s when you have a call down and a gyrocopter in general, I suppose. But there's a lot of conceded gold to the Radiant side, and that's at least the Aghanim Scepter completed for the Wind Ranger. I don't think they're going to get anything else off of this, but they do have just a lot of gold.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I should say impressed by this Windrunner, but it's like, I did not expect this game to look like this for her.
Well, Shackle's going to fail this time, and now no one with the BKB and haste rune, body blocked by Hook a little bit, but yeah, you can never really catch up to a hero that's moving at max movement speed and is magic immune. That is the 8 seconds though, and that, for no one, it's a pretty bad place to be in. He didn't actually get anything done with that 8-second BKB, and that's also a minute where he have to push mid.
Yeah, the BKBs going down is gonna be trouble for Vega, because when they pop the BKBs, Centaur can just pop his ultimate, and their BKB is gonna pretty much be useless, only defensive purpose, because they won't deal enough damage when they're up, and then the reinitiation from Hehe can be really strong with both Centaur and Earthshake having blinks.
And also the damage right now from Vega coming out pretty much only from this gyrocopter. If they can stampede onto him or get Cube to jump into the gyro, burst him down, then Vega, their fighting potential goes down the tubes. And Stampede also can be used pretty easily to dodge the damage, or I guess mitigate the damage from Call Down. Glimpse back onto the Wind Ranger. She'll take a little bit of damage. Call Down is there now, but it's only going to do damage to this Wind Ranger. The jump in. Hook with a big Requiem in the back end is going to destroy Seema and Noan pretty darn swiftly. Static Storm does go up, but it does next to nothing. Okay, you could pause, I guess, but this is not looking too good for Vega right now.
Yeah, it was a greedy play from Vega. It doesn't feel like they're playing to the usual standards. They glimpse back into nothing. Like, they glimpsed the Windrunner back, I think, and they didn't follow up at all. Like, they had no stuns or anything, and then the shack shot onto Gyro and I think the Disruptor just sealed the deal there.
Gyrocopter, I mean, he does have his BKB still available, so Testament to the fact that he just got completely locked down and destroyed. Same exact thing for this DK, but I mean, Hehe just took a 3-0, maybe even a 4-0 if no one tempts fate a little bit too much. Hehe pretty much lost, nothing but cooldowns there, so this tier 3, probably even the Raxes are going to go down. They might even get no one force staff out. Who force staffed him out?
That was, I think, Earthshaker. I think I don't know what he was thinking. I think he wanted to force staff the DK in, but he turned, and then he got force staff out, I guess.
What a good guy that Cube.
He's showing mercy.
Oh, force staff again. This time no one has a BKB though. He doesn't actually do any damage. He has a BKB Hyperstone, so he attacks really quickly for 100 damage, but you know, Shadow Fiend attacks even faster for 200 damage, so he will one-up the DK every single time. Rax is claimed by Hehe pretty easily as well, and Vega, well, they were already very far behind, now they're even more so, especially since Roshan, look at that, conveniently alive, and conveniently Hehe are going to walk right in with the double damage rune, because that seems fair, and they are guaranteed an Aegis right now. I don't know if Vega can, maybe they steal it, but then Clockwork dies afterwards twice, definitely.
They seem to be a bit too scared. I think with the center having ultimate up, they can take the throws. Yeah, they're gonna go now when it's up.
Let's see if he actually play around the fact that they could stampede right over this cliff. We'll see if they are aware of that fact. They have a double damage on Hook, even just like putting up the high ground. Hook shot in from Mag. He's not going to get the Aegis, however. Hook grabs it. Now he's going to coat it down onto this Clockwork. Static Storm going to catch no one. Overgrowth going to catch a couple more, but Solo doesn't have any backup for this one. Gyrocopter's letting loose this time, actually doing some damage, but really not enough. He's going to get chased down by Hook. Rocket Barrage, turn around. Hook has an Aegis. He doesn't care. Fissure will kill off that Gyrocopter. 70 seconds down. As the Shadow Demon does respawn, they get a stomp onto no one. He's still bottled up, does lay the Dragon Tail in, BKB as well, but this is a 1v4 we're talking about. 1v3 now with the Glimpse. They kill off the Centaur, TP out from no one. Is that going to work? No. The Aftershock from the Shaker is there. Now they have their eyes set on Seema. Force staff forward. They're going to guess wrong, however. They might actually still catch him if Cube sees him. I think he saw him. Yeah, he did. Fissure, the chase. Seema has a Glimpse, though, so this is going to be a tough kill to take, but yeah, they probably shouldn't even bother, but it's still a massive fight for Hehe.
Yeah, it was a big fight. You know the game is hard when the support Earthshaker is looking for a heart at 30 minutes.
Dude, go for Satanic. Get some lifesteal.
I think he's gonna pick up heart here. I don't think he could be. I don't know. I think he can do anything he wants at this point.
Dude, when you hit Enchant Totem, that's 400% extra damage for Satanic. That's like a full heal whenever you use it. It's insane.
He's going for the heart. It's the, so to speak, safer option. But I don't know. I think he's just picking up big items now because so he can show off.
And that's bad times. Shadow Demon, he's the softest, the lowest farmed hero on Hehe. He has a 4-staff gem urn. That's still like pretty darn good for Shadow Demons in all honesty, but this Shaker, he sees a target. It's Seema. Does he really want to use the Echo Slam there? No, he sees a bigger target. It's Uba up towards top, and he has some backup for this one. Wind Ranger, if she lands a Shackle, it could be all over. Blink forward, Shackle going to connect, and Wind Ranger probably could do this one by herself, but no, with the Echo Slam there, they'll definitely kill off the Gyrocopter. Yeah. Probably could have even killed him off twice there if he had double HP for some reason, but that's 70 seconds where Gyro is down, and that means Vega cannot fight right now.
No, ensuring a kill with Echo is the right decision, I think. If there's even a slight chance Vega turns there, Hehe are not gathered up, and it's just very good play from Cube. Cube has been playing insane this game. All his decision making has been very good, and his play.
And he has the score to reflect it. 6-1-13, and anyone coming in right now will say, oh, this Earthshaker is doing pretty well, and they will not be wrong. They will not nearly be wrong. The positioning from Hehe right now, they're surrounding everyone. No one's going to take a courier down, but actually no one cares about that. Lord of 4K, a little bit more of an important target. He's going to stampede forward. Hook's going to jump right in. No one has no BKB up, and he will get obliterated. Now they get the bubble onto someone who is in there. It's Mag, and he's going to take a very swift fall afterwards. That's 2 kills with the forced buyback as well from 2 heroes, but these 2 heroes can't do anything with these buybacks because the Gyrocopter's still dead. This tower at the very least is going to go down, and then it's a clean retreat.
Yeah, I don't think Vega can defend this, and the Shackle lands again. No one, are they gonna get killed? The Shotgun comes out. He doesn't have BKB yet.
Static Storm does literally nothing. Hook shot in is going to catch Mag. Cube is going to get glimpsed back, and he will go down, but now Hook arrives with the BKB pop. Shackle onto 2 from this Wind Ranger, going to destroy the Gyrocopter, who just respawned, and they also catch Mag with a hoof stomp. That's GG, well played, called.
is under
My
attack.
god, Hehe, or at least Cube, what a freaking baller, man. This Shaker play overperformed, to say the least.
Radiant
Yeah,
victory.
really well played from the entirety of Hehe, especially QP. Surprising win. It was even in mid game, but a mistake from Vega, I think, and then Hehe just took over and never let go.
And that's what happens, man. Just one sort of small mistake. It was the early farm, of course, from the Centaur that really gave them a pretty large shove in the correct direction, but I think it was really that fight where they were near the Roshan and then they smoked up and tried to leave it, and then they got caught in that little corridor. I think that's when things got like really bad for Vega, because up till then, they were still more or less fine.
I think they got on a bit of tilt after that, not making the correct decisions after that, not playing like they usually do.
Well, guys, that's going to, unfortunately, be it. This is the only game that we're going to cover here on this channel. For now, Mountain Trail Challenge is going to conclude on this channel with Hehe claiming it over Vega. Vega also, it's worth noting, most people's opinions, the vast favorites. So Hehe not only beating them, but pretty much destroying them. And that is going to be it for us. Guys, if you enjoyed the cast, be sure to hit that follow button. Also, follow us on Twitter at HeflaTV. You can follow casters. I'm Mikelorus. You can follow me at Mikelorus. You can follow my co-caster at KefkaDota. Let us know how you thought he was doing in this game, and let him know as well if you have any, of course, constructive feedback. But any final words before we close this out, man?
Very well played from Hehe. And Vega needs to step up if they want to have a chance in the TI qualifiers, I think.
All right, guys, we're out. Thanks for watching. It's been a pleasure. GG.